A couple of years ago I painted these, the death corpse of Krieg. It's a popular video and I only painted 5 of them. I found the other 5 miniatures the other day and thought, I redo that video. I'm pretty sure both my ability to make videos as well as painting have evolved since then. So it might be interesting in that aspect. Either way, it's awesome miniatures and they deserve to be painted. I am Alex, you're watching Winterwolf Miniatures, and this is How to Krieg. Again. You cannot see my face today, but you can just Google average Swedish guy and there I am. Honestly, it's not that far off. I searched again for AI-generated pictures of random Swedes and found a more fitting one. There we are. More doing, less talking. This is the state I found them in. I originally primed and base coated the coat on all 10 of them. I'm starting today by applying a layer of dark sea grey to the coat. I'm 99% sure it was the color I used the last time, and it sure looks like it. The main reason for the coat's new coating is because it looks a bit patchy in places. I mix some verdigris into the dark sea grey and do a run of highlights on the coat as well. As I'm writing and recording this, I have of course looked at the old ones. But as I painted, I had not. Let's do it really slow. As I painted, I had not. I remember I got inspired by the German trench coats from the Second World War, as well as some Great War aspects. And the last time I painted them pretty dark and realistic. This time I want to do pretty much the same thing, but a little more colorful. So this time it's going to be a little more sci-fi Germans or something. Now I just have to figure out how to make them look more sci-fi. The pants I'll cover with olive green. It's just a plain desaturated army green that doesn't take away focus from the rest of the stuff, but still adding to the colors. I thought about making the armor part stand out a bit more, and in my mind's eye I saw some kind of shabby white or beige. That would surely make it look a bit more sci-fi. So I painted the shoulder pads and the helmet brown as a base coat for that. You know, like stormtroopers. But not as clean. Stormtroopers are actually Germans anyway, so it fits. I'll also do a brown base coat on the backpack and all the leather straps and stuff. That got me thinking about a weird thing I saw. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. The stand and stuff. It's cool because it can stand and stuff. I bet someone was very pleased with that. This might be a good place to remind you to like the video. And if you like miniature wargaming and this kind of content, you should also subscribe to my channel. If you are curious, you should watch another video of mine after this one, because in most of them, you actually get to see my face. If that's a good thing or not is up to you, I guess. And staying with the sci-fi theme, I painted the guns red. The guns look cool, reminiscent of old World War II era guns, and the red paint might give them the attention they deserve. At this point I decided that the red guns was enough, so I changed my mind about the armor and repainted them dark grey. I love painting like this, without a plan, just coming up with stuff as I'm going. It might not be the best way, but it sure is fun. The backpacks have some stuff on them, and I painted the tube-like thing at the bottom, as well as the cloth-looking thing at the top, in dark grey, dividing the pieces of the backpack in two simple but distinguishable colors make a huge difference. Let's enjoy a moment in silence. No, fuck that. One of them has a flamethrower and therefore has fuel canisters on his back instead of a backpack. When it comes to fuel containers, nothing really screams flammable as well as yellow. I've base coated the canisters with brown and will build up to a yellow slowly. It's a bit of a balance here with the yellow. I need to get it precisely right in brightness to look good, but I don't want it to be too bright and eye-catching. Introducing another color like this is fine, because so far we only have the blue and the red. I will paint the small things like buttons and trim and stuff in gold later. And gold is just a fancy yellow, so it should be fine. That's a t-shirt. Gold is just a fancy yellow. Being pretty much a dark grey scheme, I gave the whole model a black wash. I've purposely chosen a bright and vibrant brown in preparation of this, so that's why it looked so ugly before. I've kept this long and boring footage as a little reminder that miniature painting takes some time. Even if we paint fast and use some shortcuts like washing or speed paints, it's going to take a little while. Let it and enjoy it. My favorite comment since my last video is of course this one from Mr. Steps. My second favorite Swede is back. Sorry, no one beats Silvia Renate. And when will you show us the painted monsters of the game? Thank you, Mr. Steps. You are my favorite stormtrooper. I mean German. If you are German, that is. And it's okay, I can be second to Silvia. I'm fine with that. If you don't know, Silvia is the Queen of Sweden, and she's actually from Germany too. I'll paint the monsters of the game at some point, of that I'm sure, but I have no idea when. Let's make these guns look like proper sci-fi laser blasters by painting these power coils white. They will of course get some color to them later. I just have to decide which one. The brown stuff looks much better now when it's been washed, as it looks more muted. Real leather is colored by staining it, so I guess washes makes sense in some way. The ugly stained areas you sometimes get with washing basically just look realistic on leather. Also remember that leather is quite reflective, so the last thing you need to do is to make a quick and pretty harsh highlight. I'm using Beastly Brown, and I think it was the same brown I used as the base coat before the wash, maybe, or at least something similar. The guns will be the main focus, and in proper sci-fi way we will make them bright red, because why not? Some grey highlights on the armor parts. To keep them separate from the coats, I've mixed a blue into the dark instead of a turquoise as I did on the coats. It's same but different-ish. And speaking of coats, they will get a new round of highlights to make them really crispy. The miniatures are really small, and if you want to be able to see all the tiny details when they are on the battlefield, you might have to exaggerate the contrast levels a bit. Ooh, I got the text. I have a friend. No, it's from Amazon, they want me to buy stuff. Another layer of white on the power coils make them look great again. No, I mean they will be ready, and they will be ready for their color tainting later. Tainting. Two completely different words, but they mean pretty much the same in this case. You will no longer be pure. We will taint you with color. Make sure the white is fully dry before applying that color though. And I finally decided on a color for the lasers. Lasers are excellent because they can be whatever color you want. And I've chosen blue, or a coal blue. There is a lot of blue on the miniature already, in both the armor and the coats. And it's a really big contrast to the red of the guns. So I think it will look cool, probably. They have a little thingy on their stomachs that the gas masks are connected to. That thing has some dials and buttons and stuff, and I just gave that some green to look like some light glowing. And calling back to the thing I said about exaggeration, all the small trim gets a dot of shiny gold. I would be happy keeping them brass or copper as they were, but they were a bit too hard to see. And here they are. I'm pretty happy with them. I think the colors are pretty much spot on. They look dark and grimy, but still more like sci-fi minis. So let's have a look at the old ones. At this point I hadn't looked at them since I made that video. And oh yeah, they are much darker. I prefer my new ones, but I like the cloth thing on the backpacks on the old ones. That color looks really good there. A few moments later. Can we have that from SpongeBob here?
A few moments later.
I've done something. I've implemented the pale green on the new ones, and I have also updated the old ones to match. And now I have 10 Krieg Death Corps. I'm really happy with. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Jävla gräsklippare.